I've lived in Cupertino, we had council members who ignored residents in favor of big money interests. In February, I reported the misuse of our below market rate housing funds, and although the error was acknowledged, it is yet to be fixed. In February, council member Kitty Moore found $48 million earning zero interest. The mayor and city manager said it was fine. A few weeks later, the money was quietly invested in a money market fund. We need accountability. We need council members who care. And that's why we need both Kitty and Ray on the council to regain a council majority that puts residents first. I've been asked to talk with you about the environment and Lehigh specifically. Kitty and Ray have both been environment and public health champions. If not for Kitty, a brilliant civil engineer and polymath, the county would not have required a hazardous materials cleanup at Valco. She saved our community from serious health hazards. As two-time chair of the Planning Commission, Ray has advocated for quality of life and leveraged his formidable business skills to achieve consensus. Lehigh, you know where it is. It's that big, ugly mess that you see from Stevens Creek and beyond. As one of our state's biggest polluters, they mine for limestone, heated it with other materials to make cement, a fine powder that is a small component of concrete. Some of the waste rock from mining was chopped up and sold as aggregate, and the rest was left on site, creating hundreds of acres of wasteland. Lehigh continues to process aggregate, but has closed the cement plant and stopped quarry blasting. I got involved in the mid-90s when they experimented with burning tires for fuel. Awful. This was well before council candidates Barry Chang and Rod Singh banded together to focus attention on Lehigh. I soon realized their partnership was also formed to help out the Valco developers, and that made me sad. Lehigh is in the process of preparing a mandatory reclamation plan which describes how it will clean up its quarry mess. They've done a bait and switch from their 2012 promise. Now they want to convert the quarry into a for-profit landfill, choking our roads with 600 truck trips daily for 30 years. We need to have a resident-focused council with Kitty and Ray to put a stop to it. There's no proposal for cleaning up the industrial site, which also manufactured incendiary bombs that were dropped on Japan in World War II. Keep in mind, it's not zoned for industrial uses. We don't know whether the county or city will consider exceptions. But we know that Kitty and Ray and Leon will watch out for us. Let me quickly explain why our previous electeds have not been there for us residents and either sat on their hands, sided with Lehigh, or were paid by them. Naturally, local chambers of commerce have advocated them. But these electeds were even employed by the quarry. Assembly member Jim Cunneen, Supervisor Tom Legan, and council members Barbara Koppel and Sandy James. And now, Cupertino Vice Mayor J.R. Fruin's paid campaign consultant is a Lehigh lobbyist. By comparison, in 2018, we had a resident-focused council. Remember the excessive quarry truck traffic on Foothill? Our county supervisor said there was nothing that could be done, but our resident-focused council delved into the quarry's permits and put an end to the illegal truck traffic. There's work to do ahead of us, and we need a strong resident-focused council. I'm becoming repetitive, but this is what it's all about, folks. The hillside between the quarry and Rancho San Antonio has already crumbled about 75 feet. It needs to be shored up or else we'll lose it. A mass of mining waste is contributing to a landslide above Permanent Day Creek, posing a health and safety hazard to residents downstream. And then, of course, there's those nasty 600 truck trips a day. We need to hold Lehigh accountable to its previous reclamation promise, not the current proposal. A resident-focused council will do that. And we have environmental threats, as Sam mentioned earlier, coming from within the city, like the proposal to remove over half the mature trees in Memorial Park and turning it into a concrete jungle. We We need to protect our tree canopy and put an end to go nowhere studies. The only people I trust on the candidate slate to protect the best interests of our residents are Kitty and Ray.